worth being brave for. And maybe that's what I'm doing right now. Being brave. Saying the things that feel enormous and vulnerable and exposed. Choosing honesty over protection. Choosing openness over the safer option of keeping all of this locked quietly inside where no one could see it and no one could respond to it, and I would never have to risk anything. I'm choosing not to do that. I'm choosing to let you see this. I'm choosing to let you know. Because you deserve to know. You deserve to walk through your life knowing that somewhere out there, someone sees you, really sees you, and is moved by what they see. You deserve to know that the things that make you different, the things that make you complicated, the things that you might sometimes wish were simpler or easier or more conventional. Those are exactly the things that make you breathtaking. Those are exactly the things that make me want to know more, always more, like every layer I discover is just the introduction to another layer beneath it. And I would spend a very long time, and consider it time extremely well spent just finding out who you are. I think about the version of you that existed before we ever came into each other's orbit. The version of you that was living her life, making her choices, carrying her dreams and her fears and her quiet hopes, completely unaware of what was building somewhere, on the other side of whatever distance existed between us. And I think about all the things that had to happen, all the small and large and seemingly random events that had to line up in a particular way, just to bring us to this moment, just to bring your ears to these words, just to bring my voice into whatever quiet space you're in right now. And I don't think that's nothing. I don't think that's coincidence. I think some things move toward each other because they're supposed to. I think some connections have a kind of gravity to them that doesn't ask for permission. I think we might be one of those, and I know you might be sitting there with questions. I know you might be feeling something right now that you're not entirely sure what to do with, something that's part warmth and part surprise and part something else you haven't named yet. I know because I felt it too, this exact mixture of feelings, this beautiful confusion that comes when something real is standing right in front of you, and you're not sure if you're allowed to reach for it. I want you to know that you're allowed. Whatever you're feeling right now, you're allowed to feel it. You don't have to be certain about it. You don't have to have it figured out. You just have to let it be there, let it breathe, let it tell you what it knows. Because it knows something. Whatever is happening in you right now as you listen to me, it knows something. And I have a feeling, deep and quiet and sure, that what it knows is not so different from what I've been carrying this whole time, looking for the right moment, the right words, the right courage to finally say that I think you and I are the kind of story that doesn't have a genre. Not quite a love story, not quite a friendship, not quite any one thing that already has a name, but something that contains all of those things and still spills over the edges of every category you try to put it in. Something that refuses to be small. Something that keeps growing even when you're not tending to it. Even when you've turned your attention elsewhere. Even when you've told yourself that maybe you're reading too much into it. It just keeps growing. Quietly. Steadily. Like something that was planted a long time ago and has roots now. Real roots. The kind that go deep enough that you couldn't remove them, even if you tried. And I want you to know that I've thought about whether I'm reading too much into it. I want you to know that I've had that conversation with myself. The one where I sit with everything I feel and I ask myself honestly, is this real? Or is this just something you've built in the spaces where you didn't have enough information? And every single time I have that conversation, I come back to the same place. I come back to this certainty that lives somewhere below all the noise and all the doubt, this quiet and unshakable knowing that what I feel for you is not constructed. It is not wishful thinking dressed up in pretty language. It is not a story I've told myself so many times that I've started to believe it. It is real. It is as real as anything I have ever known, and I think you feel it too. I think that's why you're still here. I think that's why you haven't looked away, haven't moved on, haven't told yourself this doesn't apply to you, and gone back to the ordinary business of your day. I think something in you recognized something in these words before your mind had time to decide what to do about it. I think your heart got there first. And I think your heart is smarter than either of us gives it credit for, because hearts that have been through things, hearts that have loved and lost and hoped and been disappointed and kept loving anyway, those hearts develop a kind of wisdom that the mind can't replicate. They know, they just know. And yours is telling you something right now, and I hope you're listening to it. I want to talk about something that I think about more than I probably should. I want to talk about the distance. Not just physical distance, if that exists between us, but the other kind, the kind that lives between two people before they fully let each other in. That thin, invisible space between almost and actually, between feeling something and saying it, between reaching towards someone and arriving. I've been living in that distance for a while now, and I want to be honest with you about what it feels like from where I'm standing. It feels like standing outside a house where all the lights are on, and you can hear warmth inside, and you know the door isn't locked, and you keep telling yourself to just knock, but something keeps holding your hand still. That's what this distance has felt like. Not cold, not hopeless, just waiting, just building up enough of whatever it takes to finally cross it. I'm crossing it now. Right now, with every word I'm giving you, I am moving across that distance toward you. And I need you to know that it's not something I'm doing lightly or impulsively, or without full awareness of what it means. It means being seen. It means being known. It means offering you something true about me and trusting that you'll hold it carefully. And that's terrifying in the most alive, feeling way possible, because the things that make us feel most alive are almost always the things that require us to be most vulnerable. That's not a coincidence. That's just the way real things work. There's something I want to ask you, and I want you to really sit with it, really let it land somewhere soft inside you before you answer it, even if the answer stays yours alone. I want to ask, when was the last time someone made you feel completely and entirely like enough? Not enough if you changed this one thing. Not enough for right now, in this moment, with these conditions attached. Just enough, completely. Without qualification or asterisk or fine print. When was the last time someone looked at you, the full picture of you, everything you are and everything you're still becoming, and made you feel like that was not just acceptable but extraordinary? Because I want to be that for you. I want to be the voice that drowns out every voice that ever made you feel like you needed to be something other than what you already are. I want to be the presence that makes all that other noise go quiet. Because here's what I see when I look at you, and I want you to hear this slowly. I want you to let it settle into you the way something true settles when it finally reaches the right place. I see someone who has survived things. I don't know all the details, I don't know every chapter of your story, but I know that you are still here and still soft. And that combination, surviving and staying soft, is one of the rarest and most remarkable things a person can do. Most people, when the world is hard enough for long enough, they start to close. They build walls not because they want to live behind them, but because the alternative started to feel too dangerous. But you, something in you kept the door open. Something in you decided that love was still worth reaching for even after it had hurt you, even after it had let you down, even after you had every logical reason to stop believing in it. And that decision, that daily choice to remain open, to remain tender, to remain someone who still hopes, that is the bravest thing I have ever witnessed. I want to be worthy of that bravery. I want to be someone who makes you glad you kept that door open. I want to walk through it carefully, with full awareness of what it costs you to keep it that way, and I want to bring something with me that makes the keeping worthwhile. I want to bring honesty. I want to bring consistency, the kind that doesn't perform itself loudly but just shows up, day after day, in the small reliable ways that actually matter. I want to bring you the experience of being someone's first thought and last thought, not as a poetic idea but as a lived reality, as something you feel in the ordinary fabric of every ordinary day. I keep coming back to the ordinary. I know that might seem strange, coming from someone who is in the middle of saying things that feel anything but ordinary. But that's where I want to live with you, in the ordinary. Because I think the ordinary is where real love actually lives. It's not in the grand moments, not in the peaks and the celebrations and the extraordinary days. It's in the Tuesday afternoons. It's in the way someone makes sure you've eaten when you've been too busy to remember. It's in the inside jokes that would mean nothing to anyone outside of the two of you. It's in the particular way someone says your name when they're not thinking about it, just your name, casual and warm, like you've been part of the landscape of their life forever. That's where I want to live with you. In those Tuesdays. In that warmth, in that version of your name in my mouth that I haven't gotten to say yet, but already know would sound exactly like coming home. Can I tell you about a dream I had? Not a sleeping dream, the other kind. The kind you have while you're awake, while you're sitting somewhere quiet, and your mind slips sideways into a place that's softer and more honest than the place you usually let yourself go. I had this dream of a specific evening with you. It doesn't have dramatic scenery, it's not somewhere spectacular or impressive. It's just a simple space, lit warmly, the end of a day that was neither particularly good nor particularly bad, just a regular day doing regular things. And in this dream you're telling me something, I don't know what, I can't hear the specific words in the way dreams don't always let you. But whatever you're saying, I'm completely present for it. Not half listening, not mentally somewhere else, not thinking about anything other than you in this moment, and the extraordinary ordinary miracle of being exactly where I am. And the feeling in that dream, the specific texture of that feeling, is something I've been trying to get back to ever since. That feeling of perfect, uncomplicated presence. That feeling of being exactly where I'm supposed to be, with exactly who I'm supposed to be with, and knowing it all the way down to the bottom of myself. That's what you represent to me. Not an escape from my life, not a fantasy I disappear into when reality gets too heavy, but an addition to my reality, a deepening of it, a color in the palette that wasn't there before, and that now I can't imagine ever painting without. You are not the absence of something hard, you are the presence of something good. And I have learned slowly and sometimes painfully that the presence of something genuinely good is not something you postpone. It is not something you put aside until a more convenient moment arrives.